Hey guys, the track guide for the second round of the VA Veterans this week is from Sandown.
Like that, think nothing of it.
All right, guys, welcome back to the channel for another track guide from Sandown for the VA Veterans or for whoever wants to watch it, really. So this is my take. This week I did actually get a lot of influence from Madison Down, so I will probably put the link in the description for anyone who wants to have a bit of a look at that. So my lap this week so I've run it off this one, a 106.899, so it's a 106.9. I did one down here, it was a bit messy, so it didn't really sort of 106.8 and a half. I reckon I can probably take another tenth, just over another tenth off that for sure. But yeah, this is probably the neater of the two laps. So I'll just show you through this one. Let's get rid of that. All right, so coming down the main straight here, guys. I'm running a 50.2% brake bias, and it's the first lap out after the outlap as well. Hope that's everything. All right, so coming down the main straight here, guys. So Sandown's pretty straightforward. I think everyone's done Sandown before. Can be a very tricky track, as everyone knows. I'm just going to turn that down a little smidgy because that's freaking loud. All right. So come down the main straight in the first corner, all the way up in sixth gear. So just here at the red, that little, what do you call it, little barrier thing. So you got your concrete wall, then the red barrier. Just at the end of the red barrier, that's where I start the brake. Reasonably quick down through the gears. So on the brakes as usual, straight off the accelerator on the brakes as usual. Down through the gears reasonably quick. So go on fifth, fourth, third, getting that braking all done, and then just spotting your apex. Once again, I'm using this pillar I've noticed coming into the first corner. I'll sort of line up when I see the apex of the corner, sort of line up with about here on the pillar. I'm starting to turn in. So keeping it in a straight line it up there, and then starting to come in. It's sort of, I know it's really helping me. I'm surprised how much I like the monitor, but yeah, anyway. So coming into the first corner here, guys, as you'll see, down to fifth, fourth, third, lining it up. Oh, actually, it's on the right-hand side. Sorry, it's on the right-hand side of the pillar. I knew it was one of them. But yeah, coming in through that first corner, just lining it up. And you basically, as you can hear, I'll do it again, you're coming through your gears in a straight line all the way back down to third and then trailing off the brake, as you'll see on the telemetry there. I'm still on the brake just a smidgy, probably about just under half, about a quarter. And then just trailing off completely. I've probably come in a little bit early, as you can see there as well. Probably leave it a little bit later just to get that mid to later apex and just to get a good run out of here. Watch coming out of this corner, it can get very slippery, especially if you stick your tyres up on the right-hand side curve there. It will want to flick the arse end out. I did a race just before, about 5 minutes ago, in the officials with Michael Stewart. Thanks for that, Michael. It was a good little run, mate. And I came into this corner chasing him and yeah, really hard under brakes and it locked up, but then I started accelerating and it just wanted to spin. I was completely off the accelerator on the brakes and just still wanted to spin. It just kept coming around. So just watch that one, guys. They're coming through, guys, trailing off onto the corner, hit your apex and then just accelerating out as hard as you can here, out in third gear. As you can see there, I was already out of the corner, hit the curb, just watching that RSN coming out of there. So coming down to this next one, this is the trickiest part of the course, I personally think. Because if you don't get the angle, hit this first angle right, then you stuff your second angle, and then if you stuff your second angle, you stuff the entrance, and yeah, it takes a big chunk off your lap time. So I come down here, I think it's roughly about just past that road on the left there, or just before. Okay, so just before. So I'm up into fourth. Geez, that's not good. Coming out in third. Yeah, okay, so I'm holding third. Should know that. So coming out of that first corner, holding third, just before the start of that little dirt road on the left there. And then reasonably hard under brakes. You will see on the telemetry there, just over half. Trying to come in more of a straight line and trailing off. Now, the angle of this corner is, so say this is your corner. You want to go a 45, basically just a hitting a 45. Don't do what I've done here and hit. You want to bump your right tyres up. You don't want to bump both of them, otherwise it will shoot you and sort of give you a little bit of a funny play through the corner. I'll just show you what it is in real time, then I'll bring it back. We come through here. I've gone too much of that one, and then it sort of unstabled me into the next one. So as you come through here, as you can see, I've come in a little bit early. You want to be sort of more out here. You want your left tyres just off the curb, but your right tyres on the curb. But as you can see, like pretty much 45, not coming through this way, not coming around this way. I come through this way, and then just before you hit the curb as well, another thing to keep in mind is to completely be off the brakes. And then as you've hit your curb, getting just that smidgy back on the accelerator, just to keep the car stable through here. Once again, hitting the curb. This one isn't as bad, but I've noticed I just sort of stay on the accelerator a little bit, as you'll see through here on the telemetry. So I'm just getting on it just to keep the car stable. So I get over that first curb, hitting that nice 45, off the brakes completely, off through there, and then just getting on a little bit just to keep that car stable. And then hitting your curb once again on the 45, just keeping that little bit of acceleration, getting over the curb, and then just powering out. Try not to slow down too much through that section. That's about as best as I can explain it, guys. So coming into the next left-hander here, as you can see, we're a little bit loose. So that's why I'm saying I probably could. It was a bit messy through that section. But once again, check out Madison Downs' lap. It was pretty good. But yeah, if I'd probably quicken that one up a little bit, which I figured a few things out in the official, and then come out of there nice and neatly. And then I think a bit later in the course, I'd brake a bit too hard as well. But anyway, so into this next left-hander, if I come back just a smidge, see how it goes nice and it's like a brick wall, and then it goes to the guardrail again. At the end of that brick wall, that's where I get off the accelerator. And it's lighter on the brakes than what I thought. So I'll show you here, guys. They're off, and it's just under half, as you can see, and then getting off the brakes before I get into the corner, just to get that. If you get off the brakes, you're not holding your brakes into the corner, you're not getting that understeer, and you get a little bit more grip through the corner. And I'm just taking a big chunk out of this curb at the moment, just to see how quick I can go. As, like I said, with Madison's lap, he takes a chunk out of pretty much every freaking curb on the course. So it seems to work. So I'm just going to try to figure that one out at the moment. So coming into the left-hander, I'll do it in real time here. So just braking at the end of that wall there, off the accelerator, braking just lightly over the curb. See, just a little nick of the curb, and then accelerating out. Just watch that wall on the right there. As everyone knows, if you get up in the curb there, you will lose the arse end, and you don't get the run that you need down here, and you will get bombed into the next left-hander, or probably before the end of the straight. So coming up to this next one, they're just between the 50 and the 100, I get off the accelerator, just sort of judging it. But and there's a little dip here, as everyone knows. So I'll get off, start braking, and then shift as I get over into that dip. I'll go off on the brakes, shift, and then start turning into the corner. So all the way up in sixth gear down this back straight here, back to fifth. I don't go back to fourth. I know a lot of boys do, and they keep the revs up. I just sort of find it a little bit easier just to stay in fifth and coast it in, and then accelerate out of the corner, as you'll see here, guys. So back to fifth, bit of a mid to late apex through there, keep it on it. That was a little bit untidy, that one coming through the left there. You can tend to keep it in a little bit tighter and, oh, excuse me, get a good run out of there. Oh, had a couple of drinks. Get a good run out of that left-hander. As you can see, I come in a little bit early, and it sort of wants to sort of shoot the car more this way. I'm not completely around the corner before I start accelerating. So you want to get completely around there, get back on the gas. But I still managed to sort of hold it over that next right-hander. So as you come over that right-hander, get off the accelerator. Don't get on the brakes too hard yet, but at the start of this left-hand road here on the left there, that's when I get on the brakes quite hard, and then go fourth, third, all the way back down to second. But in this sort of a line, I'll come through here, take as much as this curb that I'm on at the moment, just nicking this one, and then heading that way, just trying to get that straight line braking done, and then turning into the left-hander, as you'll see here, fourth, third, all the way back down to second. So I come all the way out to this curb on the right here, just to square up the corner, get a good square up out of here. And I do take quite a big chunk out of this one as well, just to get a good run out of there. Yeah, just so you can get a good run out of that corner and not worry too much about getting overtaken up the inside on the next right-hander, as you'll see here, guys. So that's the one I was a little bit iffy about. That's the one I was going to show you. I think I overbrake myself coming into here. I was a little bit unstable. I probably should have got off the brake a little bit earlier and then got that grip coming through, squaring up the corner and then accelerating out. Sort of held the brake a little bit too long coming through this one, just something to keep in mind. So he's still on the brake there and then just accelerating a little bit late. So, all right, so coming down to the second last corner here, guys. So initially, the first time I raced at Bathurst, between the 50 and the 100, I'm starting to push that 50 marker heaps because, as most people probably know, I'm a bit of a late breaker. Tend to like to push the braking limits and then still try to figure out a way to keep control through the corners. So I'm coming up sort of closer to the 50, but if you're not so comfortable with that, probably about halfway, maybe a little bit further than halfway between the 50 and the 100. Yeah, it's quite, I go on real time. Well, it's right in the middle there. So I think I get off the accelerator right in the middle, but start braking closer to the 50. But yeah, once again, in a straight line, all the way back down to second. So you're in fourth here, back to third, back to second. Now, this is another tricky one. If you take too much of this curb, it's going to want to kick you up like it has done with me here and shoot you across. I just managed to control it somehow and get a good run out. But yeah, keep that in mind, guys. So in a straight line, braking, trailing off into the corner, off the brakes as you hit the curb. So braking, 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 off the brakes, back on just gradually, getting that apex into the next left-hander and then just getting a good run out in second gear, as you'll see here. Good kick there. See, I think I kept trying to turn just to get more over to the right here to set up that last one. Well, I was like, holy shit, I'm up on my time. I want to, get a good run out. So I come in and I just kept turning too much. So I'd probably aim more for the middle of the track. I try not to go too far out here. I try to sort of stay more in the middle of the track and then set up a later apex for the last corner, as you'll see here. So I'll just run it through in real time. So back to second, off the brakes a bit there. Did I get off the brakes? What you should do, but yeah, come through. Yeah, off the brakes completely, yeah. So, and then just back on the gas slightly and then just squaring up your corner and getting a good run. I stay more over to the right here just to get that straight run out of that last corner and get the most time you possibly can. So that's another track guide, guys. I hope it's helped. Yeah, as usual, for any questions, just drop them in the comments box on YouTube or just message me on Discord. I don't think there's anything else I want to say, but yeah, I quite like Sandown, so can't wait to see you guys on Thursday. Thanks, and leave us a thumbs up. Talk to you on Thursday. Cheers.